Hey everyone, this is Justin and welcome back to Simple Web Logic. Last week we worked on all of our CSS and JavaScript for the conversion of this paid template for use with Ruby on Rails. If you missed that video, you can view it on our channel and a link will be provided in the description. So today we are going to focus on the HTML portion of the conversion. I've modified the routes file to give us a route. I've also created the controller and the index view for that root index. Let's first take a look at what the final result is of what we are going to build. And what we build today will not be dynamic, so how you put this into practice will vary a little bit. So this is the blog layout for the template. It's pretty straightforward and relatively simple. We do see that we have some JavaScript here, we have JavaScript here, and then we have this little scroll to top JavaScript. Now that we've recalled what we're building, we can continue. And the first step is to test our CSS and JavaScript modifications. So we'll just grab the body HTML from the beginning of the body all the way down to the end of the footer. And we will paste that directly into our application.html.erb. If you don't already have your Rails server running, go ahead and start it. I've already got mine running. So we will go to localhost port 3000 and we see that it's working. We see our JavaScript is working. JavaScript is working here, and if we scroll down, our JavaScript is working there. I don't see any real CSS issues. I do, however, see some image issues, but I'm willing to bet that that's because they are being directly called. So our template appears to work, which tells us, at least for this page, that our CSS and JavaScript is correct. So now we need to templatize this entire thing. So the first thing that we will do is to create a navbar partial. So we will create a new folder called partials, and within that folder we will create a underscore navbar.html.erb. And you will notice that all partials start with an underscore. So we will copy, we're doing our static navbar here, so we will copy everything all the way down to here. We will just cut it out and paste it in here. Now, once we paste the navbar HTML into that, we come back to the application.html ERB and we enter in render partials navbar. And now when we reload this page, it will appear as though nothing has changed. So our next partial is going to be this page header. So we will do page underscore header, and I did that on purpose, .html.erb. So underscore page underscore header.html.erb is our next partial, and we will place that here. And we can close that. So let's go ahead and get this added in as well. So render partials page header. Now we're going to skip this page content for now, and we're going to move straight down to the footer. So let's go ahead and copy all of this. And we will create our footer partial. Do the same thing here. Render partials footer. Now we know that the footer has some images that didn't show up. So let's go ahead and fix those now. So what we'll do is we'll just find the first image for the 3, which is right here. And we will just cut this completely out, and we will do image tag, image path, general1.jpg. And now if we reload this screen, we will notice that this picture now shows up. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for the remaining 2. Okay, so now all 3 of our images are loading, and our footer is complete for this video. Next is going to be the content itself. So we can go ahead and close this, and we're going to take all of this and cut it out, and we're just going to replace this with yield. And we will come to our index.html and we will paste that here. So now we can reload this page, and again we see that nothing has changed, or at least it appears as though nothing has changed. So one thing, if this is the page header, this needs to be able to be set for each page. So how exactly do we do that? All the way at the beginning, we are going to create a variable. So we are going to do @page title equals dynamic title. And now that we have the variable, we need to change the application.html.erb slightly, and really only just to get rid of this. And the reason being is we're going to put it here. This allows us control over what top portion is displayed per page. And so the last step for this page title is going to be to modify the page title header. So we are going to change this to equal page title. And so now when we go back here, this will change from blog to dynamic title. And the last few steps here is to work on the actual content of the page. And there are many ways to do this, and undoubtedly your implementation will vary from mine, as you're looking to make your page fully dynamic, whereas I am not. So the first step is to create some separation for each type of page. So I will create a blog folder within my partials. And I want to separate that a little bit between left and right. So I'm going to go ahead and create a right folder. And that's just for easy maintenance for this application. The way that you do it will generally change. So for the right side, I'm going to want a total of 3 partials. So I am going to want a partial for the recommended and popular. I am going to want a partial for categories. And we're going to want a wrapper for the entire thing. So let's go to the index.html.erb and we will find, okay, so here's where our category starts. Here is where our recommended and popular start. So I'm going to copy from here all the way down to here. Just cut that out, and we will paste that here. And we will do the exact same thing for categories. We're just going to copy from here down to here and paste that into there. In here, we're just going to do our normal render partial, partials blog categories, and popular. And then here, we will render our partial right. And that does it for the right side. So what we're going to do for this video, being that we are not working on a fully dynamic system, I am going to just copy one blog item. Okay. And the rest of them are just going to be deleted. So I'm going to use the exact same partial for all. So we will create our partial blog post.html.erb, and we will copy this here. So now that we did the HTML, we're going to replace that portion which we've already removed to render that partial. Now, under normal circumstances, you would want to run this in a loop to make it fully dynamic, but I'm just going to use this one partial multiple times. So we can go back to the page and we see that they are all identical now. Multiple times. I can add as many of these as I want. But we see that the image still isn't loading up, right? So let's go ahead and do that image. So here we go. We still have our alt. Ooh, this one has some classes to go with it. So let's just go ahead and copy those. And we already know how to do this. So we will do our image tag, our image path of general 1.jpg. And now for the image tag, I need to add in some options. So let's go ahead and set our class to equal these. And so now, if I reload this page, everything should be working fully, and we can go ahead and continue to work on whatever application it is that we're building. And it does. So that's it for this video. Super short and simple. So throughout this video series, we've looked at taking a purchase template and converting it for use with Ruby on Rails. The Rails asset pipeline can be a very scary thing when you first start, and even the experts struggle with it from time to time. So if you struggle, don't worry, there's always help out there for you. And if you liked what you saw in this video and you want to see more, please be sure to subscribe to our channel where we aim to publish a new video every week. Please be sure to also like and share our video. You can visit us on Twitter, Facebook, GitHub, and our website, of course, at simpleweblogic.com. I've included links to all of these in the description below. And if you have something that you would like to see, something that you're struggling with, please email us at simpleweblogic@gmail.com and let us know, and maybe we'll do a video over it. So until next time, guys, happy coding.